I got the horse right here. The name is Paul Revere.
Hello, racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Saturday, June the 28th races at Hastings. We do have 7 races, Drew, on tap. A little cloudy skies as of taping, but hopefully things will be...
I was just thinking that it might be a little bit of an off track this week. Tough to tell right now. It hasn't rained a lot, so I'm sure the track's okay right now. If we do get some more overnight, maybe it might be a little bit like wet, fast kind of track.
But 7 races, we do kick off kind of a really long weekend, I guess.
Yeah.
We don't usually get the holiday on a Tuesday, but Saturday racing, Sunday racing, and of course we have the holiday Tuesday racing, Canada Day, July the 1st.
It's good we got a little day to rest up before the big day.
All right, let's get into the action for Saturday. Race number 1 features some maiden $12,500 claimers going 6.5 furlongs. I've landed on the 3-horse Uncle Willard. I'm going to hope that this horse improves. This horse just had the 1 run prior to his last start. Time, He actually improved quite a bit and moved forward. Only got beat a couple lengths. Nick DeMimsey, and I just think, and Stallman Peter are likely going to take a little bit more money, and this one might be the value play. Richard Hamill sticks with this one for the hot Craig McPherson, so why bang your head trying to beat this connection? And I'm not going to. Let's just go with them, and I think Uncle Willard could be the right price. I put the 4, Nick DeMimsey, in for second. Obviously the logical horse after back-to-back runner-up efforts, and put the 1 horse, Pedro Alvarado's runner in here, Steelhead, has attracted Amadeo Perez to the irons, and I guess one that you might want to have a look at in the paddock and make your assessment from there. But this isn't an overly tough spot to debut. So if this horse can run a little bit, perhaps Steelhead should be on the ticket as well. But I do like the 3, Uncle Willard. I like the progress he made from start 1 to start 2. I think he's going to continue to move forward for a hot barn. So I went 3, 4, and 1.
Mike, we see it the same way. I think I agree with you 100% that from his first race to his second race was a giant improvement. He doesn't even need to improve that much into this one. Just a little improvement, a couple lengths. He gets some money. I got him on top as well, number 3, Uncle Willard. I put Steelhead, the first time start of the Pedro Alvarado barn, in the second spot. Out of Finality, they usually are pretty good,
nice
early runners. Out of a Smart Strike mare for the very, well-bred Canyon Farms. They do a very good job of the breeding. And as you mentioned, Amadeo Perez gets aboard for Pedro. So I put that one in the second spot, and obviously Nick DeMimsey. Logical play. I have in the third spot. I went 3, 1, 4. Same horse as you, just a little bit different. I think I'll give the first time start a little bit more respect. The second race, maiden 5,000 for fillies and mares, going a mile and a 16th. I've landed on the Harold Barabee runner here, Cosmo Spirits. Generous morning line price. I doubt you're going to see that when it comes post time. But ran a good second to Lago de Como, going long last time. Goes back in long race, so it has that long race under its belt, and got in some trouble that day too. It does worry me. Jason Rodriguez, very hard-working young jockey, not necessarily as talented as your Amadeo Perez or Richard Hamill.
Or as confident. Like, it's the thing when you ride 1 horse a weekend, it's really hard to be confident and get your timing down, and it's tough because he does a lot of galloping in the morning, but it's way different than galloping and obviously
it's a different job. So that is the kind of thing that worries me, picking him over top of Amadeo and Hamill as I have. But I think Cosmo Spirits has the talent. And moving forward, like I say, she has the long race under her belt, second time going long. I think she's the horse to beat. I put Jag Time Tune, the Nancy Betts barn, that finished behind Cosmo Spirits last time. Amadeo Perez sticks with her. Makes sense. And in the third spot, I put, just kind of looking for a horse. I went to the 5, Silver Pursuit. If she can duplicate that race 2 back, she's probably in the mix here. So throw her to last race. She kind of ducked in, had a few problems in that race, so I put her in the third spot. I got 2, 4, 5.
Yeah, I like the last horse. I got the same 3, but I don't mind the 5-horse Silver Pursuit on the stretch out. I think the Cape Canaverals go long. Sunny Salo, of course, Ducky Derby winner. I mean, there's some distance in this pedigree. And obviously not a tough assignment either. And Richard Hamill sticks with the horse. I thought that was a really tough maiden 5 last time. That Find Your Beach, Be Remarkable, were both dropping from maiden 12-5 in for the 5. So they came up a little saltier than the average maiden $5,000 race usually does. And I thought this horse, as you mentioned, ducked in at the start, did well to get up for 4th. And I just think the horse was making good progress. I'm gonna try her. I put the 4-horse Jag Time Tune and the 2 Cosmo Spirit for exactly what we have the same 3 horses, but I'm going to put them in second, third. I went 5, 4, and 2. On to the third race, another long race for maidens. This is for no-tag maidens, fillies and mares, at 8.5 furlongs. I ended up on the 3-horse Xenia, filly by Salute the Sarge. There's not a lot of distance in the pedigree, but a few of the offspring. Northern Annie did go long. clear to Canada, kind of a miler. The page is all right. Elson Loenz was a very good 2-year-old who's out of the Dam Easy. So there's some pedigree there. But I love the runner-up effort to next out winner Farniente. Her works are good since she's been off for a month, but just the way she runs through the stretch and the way she gallops out after the race, I just think the mile and the 16th won't bother her at all, and I think she'll actually improve.
Absolutely, that's over the breeding or anything else. When you watch her run,
yeah, visually she's been more impressive than her form shows,
and it makes it look like she's going to relish the distance as well.
And the 5 Fire Beauties, obviously the horse to beat. I mean, probably not a lot of value off of her second place run last year in the fantasy. She's already shown she can go long, so that's going to cost you a few points in the odds. But she's been off for a little while after a disappointing sprint effort, but she's better than that. She's definitely the horse to beat, the 5-horse Fire Beauty. And I put the 1-horse Bubbly on Ice in for third. Good runner-up effort over Blended and SL Express, the 2 and the 4 in this race. They were all coming out of the same maiden $25,000 race, although they weren't separated by much. But Bubbly and Ice did get into quite a bit of trouble and was likely best last time. But I went 3, 5, and 1, but I like Xenia over Fire Beauty and Bubbly on Ice.
I see the same way, Mike. As you mentioned, as we talked about, just the way she runs, that's what makes me think Xenia will get the distance.
She's hitting the line strong.
Yeah, she has that nice closing move, which you look for, obviously, in a mile 16th race. Fire Beauty, as you mentioned, the horse to beat, second in the fantasy last year, and Bubbly on Ice, another one that was closing late in the last one. So I have the same 3 horses. Those are the horses that look like they'll get the distance to me. 3, 5, and 1. I agree with Mike in the third. On to the 4. 3-year-olds end up claiming 4,000 non-winners of the year, and I have gone to the 4 Crossrail Court of the Mike Anderson barn. Second out to stablemate Lucky Molly Minor last time. Beat a few of these. Looks to be, every race so far this year, he's getting a little closer, probably getting a little fitter and getting closer to the wire. And under the light Ryan Pacheco, who's having a career year here at Hastings.
He's doing great. He's running good. I think confidence. Confidence is great. It's nice to get some shots. A little smaller jockstrom, and guys like Ryan Pacheco are getting a little liver mounts, and it shows. It's amazing when you win a few races.
Ryan Pacheco also had a very good year, a bug year at Woodbine. So the talent's there.
It's just a matter, trying to not be on the 50-1 shots free trail in the field all the time.
Exactly. I put a Country Kid out of the Frank Barrowby barn. The race 2 back was very good. Only got beat a length and a half by Arkill. I just kind of throw out that last race. He was wide and whatnot in the last race. Gets in light with Korean Andros. I put him in the second spot. In the third spot, I put a Fleet Mac in there. This horse just seems to run a good one and then a bad one and a good one and a bad one. He ran a horrible one last time, so I'm betting maybe he'll run a good one this time. He doesn't mind the wet track either if it rains. He's got 3 wins out of 11 on a wet track. So I put him in the third spot. Just take a flyer, get a horse with some odds in your try. 4, 6, and 1 for me in the fourth.
Yeah, these aren't your most reliable horses, so it's tough to take a strong stand on a horse.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I like the horses coming out of the Lucky Molly Minor race. They finished second, third, and fourth. The 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to go to the 3 Mary's App, though. I think this horse did the most running, was battling on the pace, just got caught late for second and ended up fourth. So I think she could be the one with a little bit better, or he could be the one with a little bit better price to him. He must avoid a pace duel with a Fleet Mac and Country Kid. Hopefully Amadeo Perez, who was on him last time, actually took him from off the pace, will maybe snuggle in behind the speed and be dangerous from there. I put the 4-horse Crossrail Court, your top picking for second, and the 2-horse Follow My Orders. They weren't separated by much, any of them last time. I just thought Mary's At did the most running, or had the toughest assignment, being battling on the pace the entire mile 16th, and then just getting passed late by both Crossrail Court and Follow My Orders. So for my money, he ran the best race. I'm going to go to Mary's App. I went 3, 4, and 2. On to the 5th race, some $8,000 fillies and mares sprinting 6.5 furlongs, and I ended up on the 3 Sacred Delight. I think she's found a field that she should be able to beat. She ran into a tough one in Fair Command last time. Has just been streaking up the claiming ladder and running extremely well. Sacred Delight for me. I put the 6-horse Clarice B, who's another one that dropped in last time and didn't get the best of trips, but I think this horse getting off the rail will benefit. Amadeo sticks with the Frank Barrowby runner, and I put the 5-horse Joey's Jewel, who is the pace. Definitely has the pace advantage. This is your speed horse in the race, going to shake loose early, and just a matter of whether she's good enough. I went 3, 6, and 5, but I do like Sacred Delight.
I have the same horse. The Sacred Delight is a logical horse in here. I like, too, how she can lay close. Joey's Jewel, as you mentioned, is going to be your speed horse. If she slows it right down, she can be right on top of her. If she's going quicker, she can sit a little further back. But I think Sacred Delight gets some money. Because of that, I put Joey's Jewel in the second spot, because
Big pace advantage.
She does own the controlling
Huge.
speed in the race. So
when Richard gets gets the control of things, he's generally
pretty tough.
money.
Yeah, exactly. And I put Clarice B, obviously, another the class horse. Those are your 3 horses. I think we both like Sacred Delight on top. Sacred Delight's, probably the classiest, toughest horse in the race. The other 2 are kind of interchangeable, but those are the 3 we both like. I went 3, 5, and 6 in the 5th. On to the 6th race, 16,000 non-2 for 3-year-olds and up. Going 6.5. I went to a horse. There's a few in here that are dropping. I went to Rebus, who's dropping out of that Qatar's Pearl. He was in the Modern race before that. Only got beat 5 lengths by Modern in a tough race with Go for Guinness, Hope Seeker. Came back in another one with Qatar's Pearl and DJ Snow, Go for Guinness. Those same horses. Now he drops down to the 16 non-2. 3rd race in his of the year, kind of in his cycle. For the Tracy McCarthy barn, they were having a very good year. Tracy does an excellent job, a top conditioner here at Hastings. Gets Amadeo Perez. I like a lot of things about Rebus. The 2nd spot, I put Pat Jarvis's horse, another one dropping on the race. Only got beat 3 3/4 by Qatar's Pearl in that same race. He drops into the non-2 16. Alex Pizzono sticks with him. I think he'll be tough in here. And the other horse dropping out of there as well, Similkameen Joey, 1, 2, 3. Those are the horses dropping out of it. I think you could jumble them kind of in any order, but those are the 3 I think are tough in here. I went 1, 3, and 2.
Yeah, I agree that I think the horses that you should be zeroing in are the horses dropping out of the non-2, non-3 allowance. And that is the 1, 2, 3, 4. But I've gone to the 2 Similkameen Joey. I think a pace advantage to this horse. Got caught up in a pretty fast pace against some pretty good Bolts and Geldings last time. And I just think the pace scenario, even if it's a little quicker, he just doesn't have the kind of talent around him like that he had to endure last time.
To fight off last time.
Like last time, there was like 2 or 3 of them that were just breathing down his neck. And after constant pressure, you finally do succumb. And this horse did, and ended up, running in mid-pack. But this horse is better than that race shows. This horse, can win. As he showed last year when he is teamed up with Frank Foy. That's another key. Frank will send this horse.
He gets a lot out of it.
Just seems like, Ryan was trying to rate the horse, maybe under orders, but Frank last year really got this horse out on the head end, and it just seemed to run his best races with Frank in the tack, and he's back in the saddle. So that's what could be the difference, and that's why I'm going to try Similkameen Joey. I agree with your 1 horse Rebus. Amadeo Perez rides for Tracy McCarthy. Obviously easier assignment down here for the 16, and this horse is better than his form. It's kind of muddied up a bit because of the tough company that he's been running against. Same for the 4 Stole It, also out of the Tracy McCarthy barn. I think the 1 and 4 are live in here as well. But I went 2, 1, and 4. I like Similkameen Joey. I think he's your pace horse, and I like him being reunited with Frank Foy. All right, on to the 7th and final, $4,000 claimers. Now we're at 2 lifetime, going 6.5 furlongs. Big field of 10, and I'm going to go way to the outside of the 10. Fast stop. Amadeo Perez re-rides for Anita Bolton. Actually gets back in attack for Anita Bolton. The last time they were a tandem, they ran second behind, step up in a very quick heat. And I just think this horse can come down from the outside with the 8 Grove Trotter. I think the 8 is the speed of the race. He clears, and I think the 10 can come down and get into a real nice, cushy spot in the 2 path. And if he does get that kind of trip, I think this horse will be really tough to beat. Can't fault the barn. They're just going great, continue to go great guns. And I put the 1 horse Lord Galovic, obviously, getting into those allowance races.
The big drop,
there, want to get some wins going here, and no more, I guess no excuses. So they're just going to drop him in class and make things a little easier. So I put him in for second, and I put the 4 horse Shotgun Ralph, a horse that kind of had a tough trip from the 8 hole last time, was a little wide. Didn't get much position, still battled on well. I think this horse is liver from an inside draw, and you might get a pretty good price. I went 10, 1, and 4 in the Saturday finale.
I have a couple of the same horses. I put Lord Galovic on top, the 1 horse out of the Troy Taylor barn, taking a substantial drop. When Troy Taylor runners take that drop, they usually get to the winner's circle. I can't overlook him. I put him in the first spot. I put the 7, Pride and Promise, out of the Roseanne Anderson barn. Good old Rose's
barn. That was my 4th horse. Yeah, that would have been my fourth horse, being Richard's back in the track
exactly.
Who
Broke his maiden first out for fun, won by 5.5, absolutely romped. Right. Went up to the 16 non-2 level. Didn't like that so much. He also lost Hamill in that race. Now he comes back down to the absolute proper spot from the 4,000 non-2. Gets back with Hamill, so I think he could be dangerous in here. And then I put your top horse, Fast Stop, another one that I like a lot, but didn't kind of know which order to put them in. A horse I picked pretty much every out this year. As you mentioned, the very strong Anita Bolton barn. Gets Amadeo back with him. He knows him well. I got 1, 7, and 10 in the nightcap. That'll do it for our analysis of the Saturday June 28th races. Coming up next will be our picks on screen. Mike, as always, you're up first.
Back in the first race, I went to the 3, Uncle Willard. 3-4-1 for me in the opener. In the second race, I went to the 5 horse Silver Pursuit. 5, 2, and 4. Race number 3, I went to the 3 Xenia over the 5 Fire Beauty and the 1 Bubbly on Ice. Race number 4, another 3 Mary Zapp over the 4 Crossrail Court and the 2 Follow My Orders. Race number 5, let's get another 3 home. Sacred Delight 3-6-5. In the 6th race, number 2 Similkameen Joy 2-1-4. And in the 7th, I went to the 10 Fast Stop over the 1 Sir Galavic and the 4 Shotgun Ralph.
And here we go, my picks. There we are. First, I agree with Mike on number 3, Uncle Willard. I went over the 1 and the 4. In the second race, I went to number 2, Cosmo Spirits, over the 4 and the 5. In the third, I agree with Mike on number 3, Xenia, over the 5 and the 1. In the fourth, I went to the 4. Look at that. Fourth race, I went to the 4. Second.
Yeah, third race, 3.
Stick with the numbers,
You should take the 1 in the first.
I should have. Yeah, I got him in second.
Yeah.
Fourth race, number 4, Crossrail Court, over the 6 and the 1. In the fifth, I went to number 3, Sacred Delight, over the 5 and the 6. In the 6th, number 1, Rebus, over the 3 and the 2. And in the nightcap, the 7th, I went to the 1, Lord Galavic, over the 7 and the 10.
All right, that'll do it for this edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'd thank everyone for tuning in. Hopefully we'll get you steered in the right direction, maybe making some winning decisions as you walk up to the mutuals. If you can't make it out to Hastings, don't forget the Derby Bar and Grill is open. Lots of simulcasting starting at usually quite early in the morning and ending quite late at night.
9 o'clock in the morning till 9 at night.
So please come on out if you're in the South Surrey area. Please visit the Derby Bar and Grill. Lots of great food and, of course, great entertainment. On behalf of Drew, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time here on Handicapper's Corner at the Derby Bar and Grill.
On the morning line, the guy's got him bigger than 5 to 9, but make it efforts 10.